I was ready to find some relief. So I put a 45 in my mouth.
About halfway through the 7-pound trigger pull on my SIG, my phone went off in my pocket. That text message saved my life.
My 4-year-old son at 2 in the morning walked down the hall and knocked on my door and said, "Daddy, are you okay?"
And that was a huge wake-up call. We knew we had to do something. This isn't just a veteran thing. This is an everyone thing.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 44. This is an absolute epidemic that's not being addressed the right way. How we treat isn't working, so we need to try a new way. My name is Jeff Hoagland, and I'm the co-founder of the Invictus Project, which is a nonprofit focused on more effective treatment for veterans suffering from TBI, PTSD, and depression.
I'm Sam Peterson. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Invictus Project and Invictus Health,
which is for-profit, offering the same services for anybody.
In the military, I was an explosive ordnance disposal technician.
If you've seen the Hurt Locker, that was our job, super loosely based. So Sam and I were briefly in the same unit, but we really became really close friends after the service, and he was the first one I opened up to about the struggles that I was dealing with and found out that he also had dealt with it.
EOD techs were constantly exposed to blast waves. That constant exposure causes your brain to deteriorate, just like an NFL linebacker's. I had been treated by the traditional medical system. I had been given prescription after prescription, and they didn't work. They made everything worse.
It's a really irresponsible way to treat comorbid symptoms with TBI, PTSD, and depression.
They say that those that are closest to the problem are closest to the solution. Nobody had the need to come up with a solution as dire as we needed it. So Jeff and I went around and we started trying things. We were human guinea pigs. We went around looking for alternative therapies that could actually create long-term positive mental health outcomes. So we put all of these treatments that worked for us together into a cohesive treatment protocol that utilizes the best parts of each one of these treatments and put them in one place. And we've been incredibly successful.
We focus on a diagnostics first approach, so each patient will get a QSPECT brain scan by our partner Cerescan. That shows basically blood flow and function of a brain.
And we pair that with a blood lab and patient reporting to get an accurate and complete picture of exactly what's going on in the patient's mind and their body. Based on those diagnostics, we move them into our treatment protocol. In the case of somebody who has severe traumatic brain injury, for instance, we start off with 4 ketamine infusions. Ketamine is a dissociative anesthetic and a psychedelic. It's also anti-inflammatory in nature, so it helps bring down inflammation in the brain, and it puts the patient in a positive state of mind. It is between 70 to 80% effective at relieving depression symptoms, and it can do this in as little as 1 dose. So we do that first.
I like to say that it's kind of like hitting Control-Alt-Delete for your brain. And then immediately following ketamine infusions, we go right into hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
And then we draw the blood, centrifuge out the red blood cells, so what we're left with is a slurry of platelet-rich plasma and stem cells. We put the pluripotent stem cells directly into the brain through the sinus cavity.
I like to call it the fertilizer because it roots down wherever the source of the inflammation is, the source of the damage. And then we put the patient back into hyperbaric for 20 more additional sessions. And then they also do diluted insulin intranasally as well. And what that does is it creates all of the resources that those stem cells need to become young, healthy, viable tissue. And then we introduce lifestyle modification and psychotherapy.
We're getting the diagnostics again on the back end to prove that it works. Because our goal here is twofold. Yes, we want to help people, but we also want to change the way that traumatic brain injury are treated in this country. And we're working on proving it scientifically. And if we can do this right, if we can prove that we can fix the underlying issues that are causing this, then we can slowly make this the standard of care.